Hello. It is late and I am tired, but I wanted to record this video. Today, I'm going to be ranking my top 5 favorite killers in Dead by Daylight. The way this ranking is going to work is A, what killers I prefer to play, and B, what killers I think just look the coolest in general, whether that's their base skin or their cosmetics. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it with my number 5 spot, the Dredge. Out of these 5 killers, Dredge is the one I played the least out of all of them, but I do really enjoy playing them. The only slight tweak I would make to the Dredge is that it feels so clunky. Whenever I'm playing the Dredge, it feels like I'm carrying around a backpack that's got 35 pounds in it. The main reason I do like him though is not only his look on just his base skin even, but also his skins. Just take a look at some of these pictures flashing up on screen now. Some of these skins are sick. But also his ability. I just like using Iron Maiden, having fun, teleporting to different lockers around the map, just looking for survivors. I prefer that more than just running around the map. I think it's so fun. Moving swiftly on to the number 4 spot, we have the Blight. Blight is probably the main I had for the longest amount of time. I probably played Blight non-stop for like a year. That's how much I enjoyed playing him. And I enjoy the amount of skill required to play Blight, because Blight is one of the hardest killers to play well in the game. But speaking from someone who is top tier with him, when you have some good matches with him, he's good. Now, I'm a big fan of the base look for the Blight, but I'm not a huge fan of any of his cosmetics. I just don't think any of them are that like, wow. Other than this one. This one is the one I play with. It's the first one I bought for him, and I think it's the only one I bought for him, just because I think it's the coolest. Once again, he's just fun. I just like running around the map, dashing off this rock, into this tree, into this building, into this wall, into this pallet. And I just think it's really fun to just run around the map and kind of jump scare survivors in a way, where you just start running towards them. I just think it's fun. Another thing about Blight is that his origin story is that he is from Scotland. Whoa! Now we can move on to my number 3 spot, which was my first main in the entire game, the Clown. I'm a huge fan of horror movies that have clowns in them. It, of course, you know, Pennywise, that's like the base one. You've got, what else have you got? You've got the American Horror Story clown, I can't remember his name, but he's pretty cool as well. You've got Killer Clowns from Outer Space as well, a movie that I think is underrated. I really like the movie. I just imagine, if only I was alive when it came out, sitting in the old cinema, bucket of popcorn and a drink. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And then there's a bunch more, but I don't need to run through them all. So, the main reason I like Clown is because he's a clown. I don't really like the base design of him, I'm going to be honest. He does look like a clown, of course, but he looks very humanoid. He does have a few skins that make him look more scary, like this one. Unfortunate thing about this skin, however, is that I believe you can only buy it with shards, which is a lot of commitment to the game. I think it's like it's either 17 or 21,000 shards I think you need for this guy. And you can't buy shards, you just need to play the game. So I don't have the skin yet. And you can't complain about his ability. You know, it's a solid ability. He's got bottles that can make him speed up. And he's also got bottles that can make the survivors slow down and become all dizzy like they're drunk. But the main reason he's this high on the list is because he was my first main. You know, whenever I think of Dead by Daylight killers, Clown is the first one that pops into my mind. Just because he was my OG. But now we can move on to my second favourite killer. My second favourite killer is my favourite horror slasher of all time, the Cannibal. AKA Bubba Sawyer's Leatherface, whatever you know him as. But he's called the Cannibal in Dead by Daylight. Now slander me, call me all the names you can, but I loved playing Basement Bubba. And the reason I say loved is because obviously you can't camp hooks anymore. The survivor will just unhook themselves. But back in the day, when you could just hook a survivor and stand somewhere in the area, even if they were in basement, just stand upstairs and shack with your Insidious. So fun. I also like how you can one hit with his chainsaw, and some of his add-ons, are just unstoppable with his chainsaw. Like, incredible. The only downside to Bubba is his skins. You know, he has 2 skins, the old lady skin and the pretty woman skin, or old woman, pretty lady, or, well, that's what I just said. God damn. Did I? Oh god, I can't remember, I'm tired. But I just wish they'd give him some more skins. I don't know what. Maybe just some skins from any of the other Texas Chainsaw movies. I think it would be really cool if they give him a skin from the most recent Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, the 2022 version. Just because I think he looks terrifying in that movie. And there's not really a skin of that in any game. But there only is 2 it can be in. Dead by Daylight or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. And it's not in that. So I think it would look really good in Dead by Daylight. But now, my current main, my number 1 favourite killer to play of all time, it's the Unknown. The reason I like the Unknown so much is A, because of how he looks, B, because of his perks, and C, because of his ability. There you go. The only downside to the Unknown, I think his skins aren't really great. Like, you know, he's got the two kind of schoolgirl ones, which are terrifying, and he's got a werewolf one, which is also terrifying, and then he's got one where a guy's got like a sack over his head or something like that. That one's alright, it's pretty cool. And then he's just got ones where he kind of changes his color a bit. I don't think they're that good. I know he has one coming out, which is like a detective. It won in a vote, and I can't wait for that one to come out. Definitely going to be buying it, because I just think it looks awesome. But we can get away from his skins and talk more about the actual gameplay. Not only do I love his weapon, which is an axe, right? His base weapon I'm talking about is an axe. But I just think his ability as well is just it's so fun. His abilities, he's got this little alien that kind of comes out of his stomach, and it just spits out like a little ball. And if you hit a survivor with it, it'll infect them. And then if you hit them with it while they're infected, it'll damage them. And if you hit them while they're damaged and affected, it'll down them. So it's just like a long distance hit. And it can bounce off walls and pallets just a little bit, but either way, I just think it's a super fun ability. And his perks are good. You know, you can't complain about his perks. None of them are like, oh god, that's awful, I don't even want that. They're all very, very solid perks. And I know I haven't spoken about any of the other killers' Moris, but it's because the Unknowns is my favourite. I just think it's so... So there you go, that's my top 5 favourite Dead by Daylight killers in the game currently. The reason I say currently is because I'm sure when Springtrap comes into the game, he will bump one of these guys out and make his way into the top 5, I'm sure of it. But for now, that was the top 5. I am out of here, I'm going to bed. Bye bye.